What is up, you guys? Oh my goodness, we've got all the Halloween vibes happening. We've got to turn this on to Do Not Disturb because every single time. Anywhoosies. Happy BooTober! Okay, if you are new here, hi Elliot. If you are new here and you're like, what is BooTober? I'm going to explain it to you. I'm also going to let you guys know that this year for BooTober, we're going to do things in a two-step. So things are going to happen two steps. One is healing, and then the other one is for those of you guys that are like, it's my turn. I'm in the my turn era. I'm in the my healing era, okay? So if you're in the my healing area, you want to watch the longer videos because those are the videos that have a lot more going on. A lot more information, a lot of things that you're gonna do, homework, that kind of stuff. But if you're in the it's my turn era, you're gonna want to watch the shorter videos or the shorts. I haven't decided quite yet. By the time this video is up, I will have decided if I'm going to just record like a minute videos or if I want to record a little bit longer, like a 5-minute video probably, so I can go into a little bit of depth, but then also give you your homework because the my turn era isn't so much of information, it's just action. It's time to get into action. It's time to do the things, right? So that's kind of where that's gonna stand there. So like I said, I don't know which one I'm gonna do, but we're gonna figure it out because the my turn era also is going to have a lot more videos because it has more action, whereas the my healing era is going to have probably less. I really want to do 2 videos a week, but we're going to see how we do. In the past I tried to do like a video every single day and I just never could stick to that. Also remember that I'm also a mom, so it also depends on the little one, right? So that's essentially what we're going to be doing on the separate sides. Not something I've ever done for BooTober. So again, if you're new here, BooTober is that magical time. It's Halloween. It's the month of October. It's BooTober. Get it? Right? So funny. Anyways, it's where I do giveaways. I do specials on my healing sessions. I like to give things to you guys. I create like little readings, that kind of stuff. But we do a lot of Halloween stuff. And I used to do videos where like you would come with me as I set up a fort in my house and like that kind of stuff, which I have plans to go to like the pumpkin patch and that kind of stuff, and I'm going to bring you guys with me also. So we'll have little videos like that, like the fun little videos too probably. But for the big BooTober part, it's going to be all about my healing era. Okay, those are the big videos. The smaller videos, again, my turn. It's my freaking turn. You've already gone through your healing era. Now you're like, I'm ready to come out of my healing era and I'm ready to manifest my life and I'm ready to get things going. Okay? Are we there? Are we there? Yeah? Cool. So, I'm excited about this month's BooTober, this year's BooTober. Last year I didn't do as much of a BooTober because I was in my healing era. So I actually took a step out of BooTober. I don't think I did much other than like some readings. I don't remember doing many videos. I don't remember doing many podcasts either. You're gonna have to I'm sorry, my voice. She's going in and out. My allergies are super bad here in Arizona, and my throat chakra has been opening up like crazy, and I'm so excited because that means a lot for you guys, and it means a lot for me also, but I'm so excited about that. So, with that said, like I said, I don't remember if I did it last year. I don't really remember because I was in my healing era last year and I was doing a lot of shadow work. We're going to talk about that, okay? This video today is about accountability and how it is essential in our healing. We're also going to draw some cards and we're probably going to have a little bit of a meditation at the end of the video, okay? So stick around. So if you're in my healing era, stick around. Stick around. But if you're in it's my turn era, you know, you can turn this off, but I highly recommend sticking around anyways, because if you're like, you know what, this might be beneficial to my turn, right? It might be something that I can work on along with that as well, because we always can find stuff that we can work on we can always find something that we need to work on, right? And accountability is extremely important in anything that we do, especially as adults. Like, it's super important. If you're wanting to manifest something, if you're wanting to create something, if you want to create your own business, if you want your own healing business, whatever, like, it's still super important to have those things as well. So either way, I highly recommend you stick around, but again, that's completely up to you, right? So where are we gonna go with accountability? I'm so excited. Okay, let's get into it. Accountability is important in your healing session. So before we even get into it, you probably, if you're anything like me, you have a journal for everything. And you probably have a journal for this, or a notebook. I have a notebook for everything. Your journals don't have to be these fancy things, by the way, you guys. I'm looking this way because I thought I had one of my notebooks close by, but I don't. It can be just a notebook. Just go to the freaking Dollar General and get yourself a dollar notebook. It doesn't have to be fancy. In fact, a lot of what we're going to do for your healing era, you're going to be ripping those pages out anyways and burning them or tearing them apart. So you're not going to be doing or keeping these for long term. Now, the things like writing a letter for yourself, if you're in my turn era, like the letter to your future self, that kind of stuff, you're going to keep that forever. But you can still take it out of the notebook. You're going to still rip it up and put it somewhere that you want. I'm all about taking those papers out, burn them, put them somewhere special, that kind of stuff. So this is why I never buy an expensive notebook anymore. I used to go and try to find the most expensive notebooks, and now it's just, let's just find a notebook to help us get through this, right? So grab your notebook. Okay, you got your notebook. I want you to write on the top of it when you want to come out of your healing era. When is your end date? And the reasoning for this is if we are always saying, I am in my healing era, we are going to stay in our healing era. We are never going to come out of our healing era. It's going to take us that much longer to come out of the healing era. So you need to have an end date. What is your end date? It could be a month. It could be 2 months. It could be a year from now. When I did this time last year, well, it was a little bit before. So it was September. No. It was about June. July is when I started my healing era. But if we want to be completely honest, I fully got into it in August with shadow work and that kind of stuff. So I had 1 year. 1 year I was going to disappear and I was going to work on myself. And yes, that meant that my business kind of had to take a pause for a second in some places, and I had to go and work on some things. But I gave myself 1 year. I was like, what is one more year, right? What is 1 year for me just to get rid of all this crap? Just to really and truly work on myself, I did it before and it was amazing, and I shot through timelines and I shot through stuff, and I absolutely am grateful for that every single day. And I'm glad I did it also this time last year, that I decided that I was going to start my healing era and I was going to give myself 1 year. And I gave myself 1 year. And in fact, I saw that date and I knew it was coming up, and I said, okay, I'm coming out of my healing era, which means now it's my turn. It means this is my turn era. That's what I'm entering. It is my stinking turn. I like to do life in steps, right? So we have my healing era, my turn era. The next one is going to be that I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor era, right? I'm just magical and manifesting, and I'm enjoying. And that's exactly what it's going to be. So again, I'm giving myself a year again for my turn. But like I said, you want to write it on the top, because if we are constantly saying, I'm in my healing era, we're going to stay in our healing era. We are not going to get to come out of it. We don't have any way of coming out of it. It's just a constant staying right here in this place, in this time. Like, it's almost like saying, I'm okay with staying right here. I don't have any plans of moving. I don't have any plans of changing. I'm going to stay in this ick, right? And I'm going to continue to find things that I can work on, because we can always find things that we can work on. We can always find stuff that we need to work on. Heck, I still find things sometimes that I'm like, you know what? I need to work on this, right? And that's fine. That's completely fine. You come out of your healing era and you have a moment in the it's my turn era, and you're like, I need to work on that. Well, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with taking a step back and doing some shadow work really fast, or going to a shaman and getting some healing done, working on some ancestral things that pop up, because we are human and we are always growing. So make a deadline, okay? And I highly suggest that you take 1 month, at least a month. Don't make it a week, 2 weeks. No, you need at least a month, okay? Give yourself some time. Healing doesn't happen overnight, because you've got a lot of layers that you do have to go through, and we have wounds and we have stories that we hold on to and that kind of stuff. But you need to give yourself at least a month. And I highly recommend take a month and disappear. Just disappear. Get off social media, get off TikTok, make it so that you just come back, and you watch the videos that you want to see. If you're on TikTok, maybe you just come back and you watch like the TikTok videos that inspire you. I have certain people that I watch on TikTok that they inspire me to clean my house. And so I go watch their video really fast and I'm like, okay, I gotta clean. This place is disgusting. Or I have people that I'll watch that are manifestors, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. I can do that. And it kicks butts me into the manifesting. And then on the YouTube channels, I have like certain people that I like to watch. One of my favorites is always going to be Angie Belmar. I'm going to throw that name out there. I'm not going to tag her anything, because I don't want to use that as clout, or like try to use that. It's not clout. I don't know what the word is for it. But anyways, but she's a person that I follow. Why? Because she's an entrepreneur, and she has been through stuff also, but she has every single thing that I want to manifest. So by watching her, I'm putting it in my brain that I can do this also, right? So those are just like a couple of things that I highly suggest if you want to stay on it. If you're an entrepreneur, make a month's worth of batch content that you can just put out every single day, so you don't even have to scroll through Instagram or Facebook, because that's where we get caught up. That's where we get stuck, because we get stuck in other people's lives and other people's drama. I call it drama talk. Like when you're on TikTok and you're scrolling and you're like, wow, this person's life sucks. And then all of a sudden you look at the clock and you're like, I've been on TikTok for an hour. Because you were on drama talk, right? You were on drama talk. So take yourself out of that drama talk. Come back, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever's watching this. And let's make a commitment to yourself right here, right now. So you're going to write at the top of your paper your deadline. My healing era. I'm coming out of my healing era by this date. And put a date on there. Put an actual date. I think mine was September 11th. Because that is the day that my dad passed away. So that's always a hard time for me. And I also wanted to make sure I gave myself enough time to heal. So I went a little bit over, but I also knew that I was going to have to work on things after that, right? That also gave me time to transition from one to the next. I made it so I saw my therapist every single week up until I think I graduated from therapy in March, something like that. But that's always good. Here's the thing that I will always tell you guys. You have to have the logical and the spiritual, because it has to have a balance. You need that balance. So if you're working with a therapist and you're working with a spiritual healer, perfect, right? A lot of what you're doing right now, watching this video, you're working with a spiritual healer because you're working with a shaman. So you're working with somebody who is a shaman. And so you're going to get all the spiritual healing that you need also at the same time, without having to schedule a session with me, right? That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. But if you're also seeing a therapist, then you're seeing a therapist at the same time. So you're working on the ego and the logical healing. Listen, you still need your logical and your ego. You still need them. They're great for helping you to manifest, and they're great for helping you in your healing also. So I think it's beautiful when people combine the both. I have a few clients that they do that. They see me, but they also have a therapist. And I think that's absolutely wonderful, because you're learning that balance. You're bringing that balance within. So that's the very first thing. That's the first part of your homework, okay? Now, I do also highly recommend you writing your why. So if you're in your healing arrow, what is your why? Why are you wanting to heal? What is it? And I want you to put it somewhere where you can see it. Either put it on a post-it and put it on your mirror. So my why was my daughter. I wanted to heal for her, because she deserves a mom who is stronger. I mean, that girl is a force to be reckoned with. Okay. So I have to be strong. I have to be strong for her. But she also deserves a mom who is present and who is there for her and who can always show up for her. And that takes a lot. That takes a lot, especially as a single parent. So my healing era was for her, and then it was for me, because I deserve it. Because I deserve to finally be healed, and I deserve to finally have peace. And I was nowhere near that a year ago. So let's get into the accountability part of this, okay? Elliot's gonna bark because there's somebody that's walking past us. You would think he'd understand. You're inside the camper. You're ooh, hello. You're completely safe, right? Oh, we got some visitors today. We got some ancestors in here. Hi, guys. They're excited. They're like, yes, let's do this. Oh, I like it. I like it. I like the vibes. Okay. Anyways, hey. No. You don't need to bark. Thank you. If you're listening to this on the podcast, I super apologize, okay? I do, because you probably have your headphones in. But, all right, let's start with accountability. A huge part of healing that people do not realize is accountability. You need to be able to take accountability for the things and the parts that you played in your past, right? Now, hold on, because I know there's certain people who are going to watch this have gone through sexual trauma, who have gone through abuse from their parents, and sexual abuse and that kind of stuff. So hold on, I'm gonna come to you guys in a minute, because no, I'm not telling you like, oh no, you chose that. No, slow down. Don't head to the comment section just yet, okay? I'm gonna come to you guys in a minute, but I'm gonna talk to the people who made the choices, right? So I dated my ex-girlfriend. She's super abusive, right? She's got too much going on, and she refused to work on herself. She refused to work on the things, so she took it out on me. I became the person that she took it out on. In return, I started to do what is called reactive abuse, because eventually your body comes into this fight or flight mode, and you don't know what to do, and you're like, it's bottling up, and then it just boom, it explodes, right? That's exactly what narcissistic people like. That's exactly what emotionally, mentally abusive people, that's exactly what they strive for. And I saw her do it one time. I can remember me screaming at her and her flinching. And I saw it in that moment, and I was like, this is exactly what I was warned. I was warned that this would happen. These exact words, somebody had said, hey, just a heads up, this is exactly what happens in those kind of relationships. And I remember seeing that, and I remember stepping back and going, how did I even come to this? Where did this even start? So, first of all, when I decided to start healing from that relationship, I had to take accountability for my play in that. The reactive abuse that I did. I didn't have to give her my phone number, by the way. I didn't have to go to the beach with her. I didn't have to, become her friend. I chose to do that. Even when every single thing inside me said, stop. This isn't a good person for you. She might be your twin flame, but that doesn't mean that you're supposed to be with her. That doesn't mean that this is a good relationship for you. However, like I said, I made the choice. I made those choices. And then as we get, I can see my reflection right there. Anyways, and then as I continued to go, the reactive abuse, the continuing to stay with her, I had to see my part I played in that. And I had to forgive myself. I am sorry for putting you in that position, for allowing you to become the person who allowed somebody else to treat you like that. I'm sorry. And then again, when it happened again, because apparently I didn't learn my lesson the first time around, right? So it had to happen again. So I had what I thought were friends, and I had moved out here to Arizona to be closer, to them because, the one. Now here we're going to get into the story. I'm not pushing blame on anybody. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody because I'm taking accountability for my part in it. Here's the thing. The one was a psychic medium. And when I got pregnant, I got scared. Well, instead of making decisions from abundance and love, I made decisions from fear and lack. What happens when we make decisions from fear and lack? We push that fear and lack out there even more to a point where we're now manifesting more fear and more lack. When she called me and said, you need to move, instead of listening to my own intuition, my gut dropped when she said, why don't you sell your house, buy a camper, and come out here to Arizona where we are, because we're going to be here for a while. I heard the words, no, they're not. They're not going to stay there for a while. They are leaving soon. And like I said, my gut dropped. And I felt like something was wrong about this. I felt like this wasn't the right decision. But I listened to this person because I listened to this person more than I did my own intuition. I trusted this person more than I trusted myself, right? I made the decision to sell my house. I made the decision to put my home up for sale and call the realtor. I made the decision to pack everything, sell my beautiful couch and my beautiful dining table. I made the decision to put what I could in storage, take what I could with me, and then sell the rest. I made those choices. That was me. Nobody pushed me off that cliff. Nobody told me, hey, you walk around, I allowed this person to talk me into walking away from 3 years of a business that I built. 4 years. It was 4 years of a business that I built, that I worked hard on, that I had a big clientele list, that I had customers, that I had vending events, that I had put my blood, sweat, and tears into. I allowed this person to talk me into walking away from that. Now, don't get me wrong, that person, because we're learning as we continue to grow, that, sometimes when you hear the word they need to move, it might be on that very same day I made a decision to open up a business with one of my shaman friends, my shaman sister. And I made that decision and I had talked to her about it and we were going to talk about it later. Well, then coincidentally, not even 2 minutes later, the psychic medium calls me, right? And says, hey, you're ready to hear this. You need to move. It's time for you to move. Your time in South Carolina is done. Not quite. Now, this could have meant a couple things. Take your time, look at different options, logically figure it out. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to open up your own business? Where do you want to live? That kind of stuff. Also, make sure financially you can buy another home, or you can, rent a nice home for you and your family because you're bringing a child into this world. But instead of doing that, when she said, why don't you sell your house and move here, buy a camper, I listened to that part. So then a year goes by and I am feeling absolutely stupid for listening to a psychic medium and making a decision because a psychic medium told me. You should never, ever, ever, a psychic medium should never say, hey, you're supposed to do this. They're there for the guidance and helping you. The decision should be yours and yours alone, right? Well, here I am a year later, and my other friend, which coincidentally happened to be her wife, I don't even know what I was doing at this point. Every single time I turned around, I triggered her. She was upset with me for something. I had just started, I remember too, because I was sitting on the floor and I was crying to, first of all, my shaman sister, one of my shaman sisters, Callie. I'll name call her. I love her. And she was the one that had consistently been questioning this psychic medium. She was like, I don't feel like she's real. Like, I feel like she's fake. You know, why is she charging this much? And she can't tell me the lottery number. She should be able to tell me step by step, you know, what I'm supposed to do with my life if she's willing to charge this much. Like, all of these things she kept telling me. Now, I kept defending my friend at the time. I kept defending her over and over and over. I would defend her until I was blue in the face, right? Well, eventually, I started to question things, and I started to open my eyes, and I started to be like, something's not right here. Like, something's not adding up, because when I came out here, I started having, like, the worst of luck. Like, things just kept happening, and I couldn't figure out why, and I was like, I should have, like, came out here, and everything that she told me was gonna happen is happening, right? Well, there's a couple things to that. First of all, we have to realize that timelines can change, stuff can change, and we might be needing to go in a different direction at this point in time. Because I was not supposed to come to Arizona and live in a camper, I needed to change directions and go in a completely different direction than what I was headed in the first place. That means I needed to change things up as far as business went, as far as healing, as far as all that stuff, as far as my own personal life, that kind of stuff. But instead of looking at that, I continued to follow this person and being like, what is wrong with me? You know, blaming it, you know, so-and-so, oh, probably such a hex at me, somebody's doing dark magic, blah, 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 blah. Because that's exactly what she told me. Again, back to my friend and I having these conversations, all of a sudden I started questioning this other person. She didn't like me questioning her, by the way. She did not like that. When I would question her and be like, I just don't know, like, you're not telling me something. There's something you're not telling me, and I knew that. And then there was a moment where I remember sitting on the floor and I was crying my eyes out because I was so mad at myself for listening to somebody else and not myself. And I was so embarrassed. Like, I was so stinking embarrassed. I was like, I'm never going to share this story with anybody. Nobody's going to know what happened. Here I am sharing it with you guys. Why? Because I've healed from it. Because I've learned from it. And because I know that this is going to help you guys. Hey, if you have not done something as embarrassing as I have done, congratulations, right? You're already one step ahead of me. But anyways, so here I am talking to my friend. And then I end up talking to my other shaman sister, and we end up having this like shared like healing session that we did. And she ended up asking me this question, and it sat with me, and she goes, what value does this person bring into your life? Do they bring any value into your life? And at this point in time, the other friend was yelling at me for things that I couldn't even, like, I had started doing shadow work, and I don't know if like it pissed her off or whatever, but it was really coincidentally that every single time I started to work on myself, this person started to have a problem with me. And I brought it up, and that's when my friend was like, you know, first of all, you need to hold yourself accountable. What did you do? What did you do? Second of all, what value does this person bring to you? Do they bring any value in your life? And at this point in time, they were not bringing value into my life. All I ever heard about was how bad of a mom I was. All I ever heard about was the things that I was doing wrong. This person made it a point to, in front of everybody, like the community that we are living in, made it a point to come and tell me that I was doing something that I wasn't doing. Mind you, I thought that part was funny. Apparently I was talking crap on, you know, my psychic medium friend, and I was like calling all these people and like calling her fake. I hadn't even talked to anybody except for my friend Callie and my shaman, my own personal shaman, Mary, who owns the rest of Graven. So she was my shaman teacher. I had started to reach back out to her, and I had told her exactly what had happened, why I moved, you know, what the decisions were and where those decisions came from. And she was the very first person that said, Bree, that's just not real. That's just not reality, you know? And then she was the second person that told me, are you holding yourself accountable? So here we are now. We need to hold ourselves accountable. First of all, and this is highly important, when you hold yourself accountable, you also learn to forgive. You're learning to forgive those people, and you're learning to forgive yourself. Okay? It is very important that you learn to forgive yourself and you learn to forgive other people. I think it was Taylor Swift that said something along the lines of, and I remember seeing it on TikTok, you do not have to forgive other people. No, honey. You do need to forgive them. There is something beautiful in the forgiveness because it's freedom. It's setting you free. It's allowing you to heal. It's literally saying that story is done. It's over with. I've learned this lesson. I'm moving on. You don't have to tell them like, hey, I forgive you. You can just emotionally and mentally forgive that person and you can move forward. That's all you have to do. It doesn't have to be like a letter or any of that stuff, okay? But forgiveness is super important. And when we hold ourselves accountable, we see the areas where we made those choices. We see the places where we made the mistakes. And then we see the lesson. And it helps us in the healing. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down whatever it is that you're holding on to. And I want you to write out the entire story. Write it down. And then I want you to see the parts where you made those decisions and you made those choices. And I want you to hold yourself accountable. And I want you to go back and forgive yourself. And it can be simply, you can write a letter, you can go back into meditation. And again, for those that, were abused and stuff, I'm coming to you in a minute. But I want you to go back and I want you to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not being there for you, for not protecting yourself, for not holding your own peace and protecting your peace, for not loving yourself enough to walk away from that friendship, that relationship, that person, that job, whatever it was, for, picking up the phone or giving that person your phone number. Forgive yourself for all of it. It might take a day. It might take 2 days. It might take a month. It might take 3 months to fully forgive yourself because things might come up. Because as we heal, we unravel a new layer and layers. We've got layers and layers of trauma. We've got lifetimes of trauma within us that we are working on, that we chose to heal and work on. But I want you to forgive yourself. And remember that it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to forgive yourself the very next day. But that's okay. I just want you to forgive yourself. Hold yourself accountable. See the areas that you were a part of this. You made those decisions. So for me, I made the decision to put my house up for sale. I made the choice to call the realtor. I chose to put my life in boxes. I chose to walk away from a business that I had spent so long and so hard building. And I chose to see the reality of what I had created. And I had to take accountability of the fact that I didn't listen to my own intuition. Even when she was screaming, even when the sale of the house almost didn't go through because my guides were like, hey, you're making the wrong choice. Listen. Because I was making my decisions from fear and not from love, right? I then had to go forgive myself. I had to forgive myself for putting my house up for sale. I had to forgive myself from walking away from it. I had to forgive the person, the two people involved, right? I also had to go and apologize to a lot of people because I blocked them. I stopped talking to people. I, pretty much went along with the story of this person was doing dark magic and sending me hexes. That's just not taking accountability for your own crap. When you're saying stuff like that, that's just not taking accountability. So I had to go take accountability for that also. So that is what you're going to do. Now, for those of you guys that are like, well, Brie, we're still waiting. We're still here. Hi. The accountability that you're going to do is choosing to let it go. From this day forward, you're going to let it go. Yes, you went through the sexual trauma. Yes, the abuse happened. And if you're sitting there and you're still ready to argue with me because, your husband abused you, honey, you still gave him your phone number. You still chose to go on a date with him. So you need to forgive yourself for the choices that you made also. But if you're over here and you're like, well, I was born to, my mom gave birth to me. I was born into a family that was abusive. My mom was an alcoholic. She was, abusive, all of these things. Then you're going to learn to forgive yourself for, just forgiveness, for one. So you're going to learn to forgive yourself for, not standing up for yourself, because as you grew up, did you stand up for yourself? No, because you were conditioned to not stand up for yourself, probably. So forgive yourself for not being there for yourself, okay? But also forgive the other person, even the rapist, the sexual abuser, the whatever. Forgive them. Don't take that with you. That person does not deserve to go with you in the next phase of your life. So by forgiving them, you're letting them go. You're cutting that cord and you're saying, I'm done. This person's not going with me. I'm leaving them here because I'm not taking them with me on my timeline. I don't want them in the future, right? When we don't forgive, we take them with us. We take those cords with us. We take those wounds with us. So by forgiving, you're cutting them off. You're literally cutting them off, okay? They no longer have power over you. What you are going to start to do is you're calling your power back to you. That is the part of the accountability, is you deciding that enough is enough. I'm healing. I'm moving on. I'm done. That is how you're going to hold accountability. You're also going to hold accountability by choosing to forgive. Please, for everything that you do, forgive. It's not worth it. It's not worth holding on to that anymore. Just let it go. Forgiveness. Write it down. Write every single thing down. Cross it out. Burn it. Whatever you have to do. But start to see the areas where maybe you need to forgive yourself. Because, I had a client, and this is going to sound like the weirdest thing, but her major breakthrough through one of her healing sessions, and she had been raped. And she's like, wait, how am I supposed to hold myself accountable for that? And I said, well, let's go in, let's see. And she goes, how do I forgive myself for that? And I said, let's go in, let's see. Right? And we went in, and her guide said, I want you to forgive yourself because you didn't fight back. Because you couldn't. That person was stronger than you. That person had an ill intent. They already had it in their mind what they were going to do. They had been watching you for a very long time. So this was already planned. You had no way of knowing either because you already did everything you could. You had the locks on your doors. You had the security cameras. I mean, this person even had a pew pew, right? In their home. So she had every single thing that she needed. And this person still figured out how to get in. Because this person was close to her. This person was a friend, a family member. And this person was super strong. I mean, it was planned out. He already knew what he was going to do, how he was going to do it. When he had drugged her, so she couldn't fight back because she'd been drugged. So she had to forgive herself for taking the drink, for listening to this person, and just, for allowing herself to lay there. None of it was her fault. She's not saying that it was her fault, but through the forgiveness, she was able to forgive him. And that cord was cut. And to this day, she has a beautiful family, a beautiful daughter, a wonderful husband. She's thriving. She's doing amazing. But when she decided to forgive and take accountability, she let those things go also. See what she just did there? That's how you're going to hold yourself accountable. That's how you're going to forgive yourself and the other person. Okay? It doesn't mean it didn't happen, but we're not going to take it with us. We're leaving it here. It's not going to go with us in the next era of our lives because it has no purpose in the my turn era, right? You want to get to those videos, trust me, because they're a hot commodity. They've got a lot going on there. So you want to get to those videos, trust me on that one. But they have no place in your future. That's how you're going to take accountability. Choosing it now and today, okay? So you're going to write it all down. You're going to see where you need to take accountability. Where did you make the choices? Where did you get the phone number? Where did you decide to hang out with them? Where did you not stand up for yourself? You know, whatever. I'm choosing to take accountability by choosing to heal, by choosing to let it go. And then you're going to forgive. You're going to start to forgive. If you have to write yourself a forgiveness letter, write yourself a forgiveness letter. And I want you to keep it. I don't want you to get rid of it. I want you to keep it so that in a year or whenever your healing era is, the timeline is done, I want you to read it and see how far you've come. Okay? That's all you have to do. Okay, so let's pull some cards. For our session for today. Woo! Okay. We got some crazy energies going on right now. There we go. I finally popped my ears. All right, let's see what we got. If you're listening to this on the podcast, hold on. Also, if you're listening to this on the podcast, probably pause this actually, because we're going to do a quick little meditation here at the end. And I don't want you, like if you're driving, right? You need to be sitting, okay? Ooh, okay, all right. Yes! Oh my goodness! Yes! Okay, this is where you are. This is where we're starting, okay? You're going to choose that this is your healing era. This is your time. You're about to open the book to so many different possibilities. You're about to really step into your magic, but you have to have a starting point. You have to make the decision that this is your starting point, that I am in my healing era for this amount of time. Remember to always have a deadline, right? That you are in your healing era right now, but you have a potential of getting out of it. And you're about to open up the magic within. So for those of you on the podcast, it's the Hierophant. It's from what deck is this? The Hocus Pocus deck. Look how beautiful this is, right? This is Winnie's book, right? This is her book of all the things that she does. Like, this is her magic book. So all of her spells are in here. All of her stuff, like everything that she does is within this book, right? So this is where you're starting. This is awesome. We have the Judgment upside down. This is you letting go of judgment. This is you letting it go. This is you deciding, I am done with this crap. I'm seeing myself. I'm holding myself accountable. I'm making the decision to forgive, and I'm letting go of judgment, because we're not the judges, right? We are not judges. We don't need to judge people. So you're going to let it go. Karma is going to work itself out. Don't worry about that. Karma will find a way. She always knows how to work it out. So let her do her thing, but know that you are letting it go. Now, by doing this, by deciding that you're in your healing era, by letting go of the judgment, holding yourself accountable, all of the beautiful things, you're manifesting. You're stepping into your highest timeline. You're choosing that this is your stinking time. This is your time to shine, baby. And you're going to do it, because the sun could not be brighter for you. The sun is going to come out. You might be in the clouds right now. You might be in the darkness. But the sun, she's about to come out. And she's beautiful, and she's excited. The other thing is these are all major arcanas, right? These are all major arcana cards, which means they are super powerful. They're super magnetic. They're super freaking powerful. We don't have any of the minor arcanas in this reading today. So that means that everything you choose to do from today forward has a lot behind it. It has a lot of that yes girl behind it, right? It's got that lucky girl syndrome going on pretty much. But by doing these things, you are choosing to heal. You are choosing to step into your era, okay? The sun is going to come out, right? What is that song? The sun is going to come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar. I'm not a good singer, okay? I can play the guitar, but I cannot sing. I can. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But it's your time to shine, okay? You've got this. Let's do a meditation. Woo! All right, let's see. What do we want? What are we going to choose? I love myself. Okay, so if you are watching this or you're listening to this, this is what we're choosing on YouTube, okay? Right here. I love myself 528 hertz. This is what the guides are saying that we are going to do. So if you can't hear it through here, or for some reason YouTube's like flagging it, you know, and I have to take it down, you can have it on your end also. So I want you to take a calming breath in and out, and close your eyes. Become relaxed, almost like fluid as you connect to the earth. And take another deep breath in and out. I really want you to really feel a connection to the earth, almost like you can feel your roots going down into the earth, deep, 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 deep down into the earth. Wow, it's so beautiful. You're so connected. You're so loved. And I want you to take another deep breath in and release. Imagine you're in this forested area and you're coming into this clearing, and it's so beautiful, and you can feel the magic and the beauty. Oh my gosh, it's got the best of vibes. Here, I want you to sit down and look in awe at everything around you. And I want you to make a promise to yourself. And this promise is that you are going to heal. You are going to work on everything. You're going to hold yourself accountable, and you're going to forgive. And as you're doing this, your higher self, she steps forward. And I just want you to look at her and all her beauty and her grace, and soak up any magic you need, whatever it is, peace, love, joy. Just feel it like a golden energy just filling you up completely as you begin your journey of healing, of letting these things go and moving forward. Your journey of becoming the strongest, most powerful, beautiful, amazing, wonderful self that you are about to be. No matter what you decide from this moment forward, know that you are supported. You are supported in the decisions that you make and the places that you go. You're not going to make any more mistakes. You've got this. And you know that any mishaps, they're just lessons. That's all they are. They're lessons for you to learn and to move forward. Because you deserve so much more. You deserve Sorry, I didn't know I had a commercial. We're gonna keep going though. Take a breath in and out, coming back to me. And you deserve the highest timeline that is available for you. So I want you to feel the love, the connection, the joy, the beauty, the grace, everything that you need in this moment. As you begin your healing journey, I want you to remember, forgive yourself, have grace, know that it takes time. Be kind to yourself. And any time that you need a little bit of something, you can come back to this clearing, just close your eyes and take a deep breath and come here. This place is always open to you because it's inside of you. You already have the power to heal. You already have your own abilities within you. You're just choosing to finally step into everything. And when you're ready, I want you to take another deep breath in. It feels so good. And let it go. And come back into the room. All right, my beautiful soul. I'm excited for you. I know that this journey is going to be everything that you hope it to be. Welcome to your healing era. Happy BooTober. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.